Hey Violet's From the Outside is a unique, charming, and diverse pop album. While this is a fairly young group with most of the members being under the age of 21, they have been around for pretty much a decent amount of time now. They started off as a different kind of iteration with a different name, but they split off from one of their founding members when they wanted to go in a bit of a different direction. Supposedly, the former member wanted to go in a bit more of a punk rock or power pop direction, and the band really wanted to more push into electronic territories and just kind of straight pop, which is kind of what we get here on this album From the Outside. You can easily hear the rock and the pop influences and the punk influences throughout this album, with the opening track Break My Heart, which features the definitely rock influence EDM kind of beats going on, and there's this nice juxtaposition between the lighthearted, poppy, upbeat sounds and beats and the more kind of darker lyrics in a way. They're kind of a little bit sad. It's a song that talks about how she's been through a lot, but has never actually had her heart broken. It's a little bit weird in that regards. You know, usually you don't want to go through that, but it does kind of explore going through being a different person for the pain that you experience and things like that. And it's kind of something that you really get a sense of how young this band really is. That is something that generally, once you kind of experience a little bit of life, you're not really looking forward to, but it is kind of an interesting song. It's really fun. It's a nice way to kind of kick off the album. It's very energetic and got this overall upbeat feel to it. You could definitely hear more of the rock origins of this band when you listen to songs like All We Ever Wanted, Fuckboy, or This Is Me Breaking Up With You, which, for instance, that song in particular kind of feels like a throwback to those chanting pop rock anthems of the 80s. It's got a kind of a cool feel to it. Definitely like that track. There's some more dance influences. They're not straight, rock ballads or pop punk even. This isn't, for instance, I would say bands like Sum 41 or 5 Seconds of Summer, those kind of bands not really did more into the pop punk side of things versus Hey Violet definitely leaning more into the pop side of things. They kind of really lean into it and some of their songs, but there's a lot of diversity in the style of this album. For instance, the second track off this album called Brand New Moves it's got this really kind of funk and groove feel to it. It's a really nice song and a really fun way to listen to. I really enjoyed that track. And I think they kind of did a good job with keeping things fresh on this album. It doesn't feel like they're giving into modern tropes and trends throughout. They kind of embrace a lot of different styles, especially styles of the past, and especially styles we don't really hear in pop albums that much. As I mentioned, lyrically speaking, you can get the sense that this is a young band. A lot of the songs deal with issues that really kind of you face within your late teens, early 20s, things like that. Breaking up with people, love, unrequited love, things like going to parties and finding somebody or kind of forbidden love, things like that. They do go into some little bit deeper issues. I would say it's definitely a little bit more mature take on certain subjects that other bands probably around the same age would do. I think they just play out of sense. It's a very shameless album. There's no kind of holding back here. They are definitely exploring their sexuality a lot on this album, and you really hear that within the lyrics. There's songs that are definitely about, dealing with certain things I would probably say are a little bit controversial, especially within that age group. Obviously they're all over the age of 18, but they're still very, very young, and all of them are under the age of 21, and we're really under the age of 20 at the point of recording this album. So some of the subject matter on here is a little bit more adult than you'd probably expect from a band like this. It's also a little bit more adult than you'd expect from a pop album in general. It never really gets too dark or grim or anything like that. It's just kind of dealing with the seedier sides of relationships and things like that. But it makes for an interesting album and definitely for an interesting pop album. Overall, I would say that Hey Violet's take on the pop genre with their song from their album From the Outside is an excellent debut for the band. They've released some songs and EPs previous to this, but I think they've kind of come full force with this album, and they've given us something that is interesting, it's diverse, it's got a lot of style to it, and it'll be definitely something to watch out for this band to see where they kind of go. They definitely kind of came from punk and kind of pop rock roots, so it'll be interesting to see kind of where they take their sound next. You get a sense that they kind of have control over different sounds and styles on this album, and it shows. So here's to seeing what they do in the future. Thank you so much for watching the review of Hey Violet's From the Outside. Make sure you like this video and leave a comment down below. What did you think of this album? Do you like the style that they've gone for? Do you think that they should do more? Where do you want to see them go next? I want to hear from you down in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos, and if you want to support me, you can follow me on Twitter at Metalloud, on Instagram metal_loud, facebook.com/metalloud, and monetarily on Patreon at patreon.com/metalloud.